Hi everyone, welcome to another episode. Today I want to talk to you briefly about Bible translations and which Bible translation is best suited for yourself. A question that I get asked quite often is, what Bible translation should I use for my own personal devotions and also for my private Bible study? And today, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a better idea of which Bible translation is best suited for yourself. But before we move any further, I would like to encourage you to take some time to like this video. Also subscribe to my channel. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Before we look at what Bible translation is best suited for yourself, we need to first understand what exactly is a Bible translation. So a Bible translation is in essence exactly that. It is a translation. And in the case of the Bible, we are looking at translating the ancient biblical languages, and in our case today, we are looking at translating those languages into the English Bible. The Bible was primarily written in Hebrew and Greek, Hebrew Old Testament predominantly, and Greek New Testament. Now these are ancient languages, and so translators had to look and study the ancient biblical text and translate it into a contemporary language. And in this case, in this video, we'll be looking at the English language. There are different categories of Bible translations. You get word for word, thought for thought, and paraphrase translations. Let us briefly break down each category. The word for word translation seeks to translate the ancient biblical language as close as possible to a word for word translation, meaning take the exact Hebrew sentence or word and translate it exactly into English. Without getting technical, the word for word translation tries to be as accurate as possible to the Hebrew and the Greek languages of the Bible. Then you get the thought for thought, meaning the translators looked at the ancient biblical languages and they tried their best to translate what was meant and translated by thought for thought processes. So it may not be as accurate as a word for word translation, but it is also helpful in that it covers the main thought of what the Bible was trying to say. And finally, you have the paraphrase translation, and this is quite frowned upon in some Christian circles as it does not seek to do justice to the biblical text, meaning it translates the biblical text, but it paraphrases it in contemporary languages. And I'll put an image up on the screen so that can help you understand which translations fall under which categories of Bible translations. Okay, on your far left hand side, you have in the green word for word. In the center, in the yellow, you have thought for thought. And then on your far right hand side in the red, you have paraphrase translations. Underneath that, you have the various abbreviations of the various Bible translations, and underneath that further you have a key that helps you understand what those abbreviated translations actually mean. So I just want to give you a few examples here for a word translation, a thought for thought translation, and a paraphrase translation. You have on your far left in the green the Interlinear Bible, which is sort of like a direct translation, word for word from the Hebrew and the Greek into the English language. Following closely to that is the New American Standard Bible, which also seeks to be a word for word translation. Then, as a common example for thought translation, you have the New International Version. This is used by most Christians because it seems to be easier to read, easier to understand than your word for word translations. And then finally, you have a common example of a paraphrase translation that some people do actually use, and that is a Message Bible or the Message Bible. And this is a paraphrase, and you will find a lot of contemporary language in that Bible. Now that we understand what a translation is and the different categories of translations, you need to figure out which translation is best suited for your needs. If you're a student of the Bible, if you are studying theology, if you like to get into the nitty-gritty of God's Word, I would suggest you go for a word-for-word translation. If you are just looking for private devotion material, if you just want to read the Bible casually, more on a surface level type of reading, then I suggest you go for a thought-for-thought translation. However, I wouldn't suggest you go for a paraphrase unless it's for children, if you're trying to explain something from the Bible using simple languages. However, for Bible study, and if you want to get deep into God's Word, I wouldn't suggest you use a paraphrase translation. I've heard it being said that some translations are evil, some translations deliberately omit certain texts. That is not the point of this video. The point of this video is to help you understand what is your need for studying the Bible and what type of translation will best suit your needs. And so I hope by watching this video that you have a better understanding of what to expect when you're looking for a Bible translation. You can let me know in the comments which Bible translation you prefer to use. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comment section below this video. Thank you for watching. I hope and pray that this video was informative. And I pray that the information that I shared here will help you choose the best translation that is best suited to your needs. May God bless you.